basically what happens over time when we sit at the computer for long periods of time or we sit on our phone. We tend to have that forward head and neck, which puts a lot of strain on our neck, our upper back, even into that mid and low back from sitting for long periods of time. So what I want to do today is give you some exercises that can feel great in your body and really kind of reverse the effects of all that computer time. I'm going to be using a foam roller. I love the foam roller. It is a great tool. It's a very inexpensive thing you can have at home. If you spend a lot of time at the computer, you should think about getting one. That being said, a lot of these exercises can be done without the roller. So even if you don't have a roller, you can join along. All right, so we're going to get started. Kelly, I'm going to have you just lay on the foam roller. So when you lay, go ahead and sit your butt pretty close to the end of the roller so that when you lay back, your head and your hips are on the roller. So you want to be completely supported on there. The first thing you're going to do is really just be there. And so this can kind of feel amazing. I'm going to have Kelly think about just gently pressing the back of her head into the roller, just kind of connecting her sacrum and taking some of that big Pilates breath. So that big expansive inhale, filling up with breath. And then as she exhales, she's going to just squeeze out that breath. And finding those abdominal muscles, just being on the roller, as you can imagine, it's a little rolly, is core work and stability work. So just to lay on here, if you've been spending some time at the computer, is going to feel pretty good. So after you've taken some breath on there, we're going to move into some arm circles. So the whole time, Kelly is going to continue to press her feet in. That's going to help her stabilize. She's going to keep those core muscles engaged. I'm going to have her really energize those arms along beside her. As she inhales, she's going to lift the arms up overhead. And then as she exhales, she's going to stretch fingertip to fingertip and just take a nice big circle to come all the way back around. Big expansive breath as she inhale, lifts up, letting her shoulder blades just kind of sink around that roller. And then circling to come around. And you can do like 5 or 6 of these. We'll do a couple more in each direction. That big reach as she comes around. Let's do one more there. The whole time she's gently pressing her head in and just kind of feeling that length in her back and her neck. Let's go the other way. Palms up as you inhale. You're going to reach the arms out and around. As she exhales, she presses down and just kind of opens up her collarbones and feels that width across her chest and shoulders. Oftentimes when we're sitting for long periods of time, this happens. So this is going to help open all of that up. 2 more there. And that breath, very important on there. But let's take 1 more on here. All of these exercises, they're going to be great in this little sequence we have together, but you could just grab and do one of these at a time if you need a little break throughout your day as well. All right, we're going to go into a little version of chest expansion. I'm going to have Kelly take her arms kind of straight up over her shoulders to start with. Really energized arms. So we're going to turn her palms to face down. She's going to feel those shoulder blades just kind of wrap around. As she inhales, she's going to start pressing as if she's pushing into something. And when she meets the mat, she's going to keep pressing as if she could push through it. Then she's going to turn her head one way and then the other way. Back to center. She exhales. She keeps that energy in her arms and just brings them up right over top her shoulders. Big inhale to press down. Again, as if she's pushing into something, kind of creating her own work. And then she presses through the mat. Turns the head so she gets a gentle stretch of those neck muscles, and then exhale as she brings those arms back up. Again, we're going to show like 2 more here. Inhale, she's reaching through the fingertips, pressing, trying to press through that mat to open up the chest. Every time, maybe just getting a little more mobility in the neck, and then that exhale to come back up. And one last one. Again, even as she's doing these, abdominal muscles knitting in, feet are pressing in to help her stabilize. That look, and then that exhale as she brings those arms up. Nice. All right, we're going to keep those energized arms pressed down into the mat. And again, I want her to have that sense of pressing as if she's trying to press through the mat a little bit. So it really gives your chest and shoulders a nice little pressing in. She's going to start with a little pelvic tuck, lifting her hips and rolling up through her spine. And then as she exhales, she's going to roll down. And just as sequencing, so you're going to feel every little part of your spine roll into the roller and release your hips at the bottom. Inhaling as she curls up and she's pressing those feet in. And then as she exhales, kind of imagining that her spine gets a little longer. She's just stretching it out as she curls to come back down. Let's take 2 more on there. Whole time she's pressing those arms. She's thinking of like pushing through the mat. Her head is heavy and that neck is long. So we get those neck muscles nice and stretched out. We'll take 1 more there. Rolling up on that inhale. And then exhaling all the way back down. Nice. We're going to come off the roller. So if you can kind of come to the side a little bit, just push the roller out from underneath you. We're going to turn it sideways. And we're going to put it kind of right underneath the tips of your shoulder blades on there. Feet and knees together. We're going to support the head. And this hand position is important. You want to have those hands behind the base of the skull. And you want to gently push your head back. Use your hands to just gently pull your head away from your shoulders. You're just creating a little bit of traction, a little bit of length through your neck. As you inhale, you're going to start rolling back over the roller. If it feels okay for you, open the elbows wide and really stretch the chest. As you exhale, you curl forward, you tuck your pelvis, so we're rounding the spine on the way up. As you inhale, we create that length through our spine. We gently pull the head away and reach back. And then that exhale, head and tail curl together, really knitting the abdominals in. Great core exercise. Also feels really good on the back and opening up shoulders and chest. I like to kind of play around a little bit, maybe do a few here, and then maybe you move the roller down or up a little bit. So Kelly, I'll let you move it. Maybe you move it down just a teeny bit. Having that roller in a different spot is just going to give you a little different feel for this exercise. It kind of makes sure the point where that roller is changes, and so you get a little more articulation in those spots. So you can definitely play around a little bit with where that roller is on your back. All right, let's have Kelly do 1 more in there. Just that inhale, lengthening back, rolling open shoulders. Exhale to come up. Nice. All right, and then I'm going to kind of scoot this out and have Kelly lay it on the roller with her neck on the roller. And so I like to hold, just like Kelly did there, on the sides of the roller. Feet are anchored. And then what she's going to do is she's going to kind of just start playing. She's going to maybe turn the head like she's saying no. Okay, and you can start to like wiggle the head and neck around a little bit. Gently pressing into the roller. You can decide like how much pressure as you want. This feels amazing. Feels really good. Lots of little muscle attachments there at the base of the skull. Play around. You can try like little sideways figure 8s with the tip of your nose. And just, again, kind of playing with that. Really great for getting into those tight neck muscles, little attachment places on there. Again, this is one of those things, if you don't have a foam roller, you might want to buy it just for this exercise. It feels amazing. All right, let's move on to the next one. Let's do a little swan. We're going to flip over onto our belly. We're going to use our foam roller out in front. Again, all these exercises can be done without the foam rollers too, just a nice little prop on here. So as we start, we're going to anchor the hips. Let your forehead be resting on the mat so that you can kind of feel this length in the back of your neck. Legs together, or if that feels a little tight on your back, opening the legs can feel a little bit better. Those legs, or the low back is feeling tight. As Kelly inhales, she's going to start lifting her head first, her sternum, her chest, and she's rolling up through the spine. And then as she exhales, she's rolling down, and she's lengthening that neck and kind of reaching through the crown of the head as she comes back down. The arms are gently pressing down into the roller, and you kind of drag your shoulder blades back towards you. And then you keep that sense of like long neck as you come back down. Nice full big inhale as you roll up through the spine, opening shoulders, opening chest, and then that exhale to come back down. We're going to have Kelly do like 2 more there. This is a great exercise for reversing that forward head. We're really doing that opposite movement, opening our chest and shoulders, and then that rolling back down. Let's do one last one there. Making sure that you're not feeling any strain in your low back. Lots sit back in a little child's pose. And you can use your roller if you want. I'll show it with you. You can do it without your roller too, but sometimes it's nice. I would like to maybe let your forehead rest on the roller. And again, or you can do arm, you can play around. If it feels fine for you to take it all the way down and like have your head on the mat, you can do that as well. But just kind of a little version here. And this is a great exercise just to stretch out the low back. We're talking about the tech neck, but really it involves our whole back. When we're spending all that time at the computer like this, you're going to feel strain in the neck, upper back, mid back, also into that low back, because oftentimes we're sitting with that poor posture and we're sinking in our low back. So this is a great exercise to lengthen out your back and hips as you're on there. And Kelly, as you're ready, I'm going to have you come all the way up. You can just roll yourself up. We're going to sit on the roller and do our saw exercise. So we're using that roller, and I'll have you face that way to sit on. And what you want to do is just kind of feel your sitting bones up on the roller. Feet, we have Kelly about mat width apart on there, flexing the feet. Feel free to bend the knees more if you need to. When you start this exercise, you want to be really tall. So we want our rib cage over our hips. We want our head stacked over top of our rib cage. And it's a great place just to practice that posture. Oftentimes we don't even realize we start like having that head forward into that, from that kind of technique kind of condition. So this is good practice just to bring your head back in alignment. We're going to stretch arms out to the side. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, you're going to twist and then curl and really press the arms. So you get this sense of just stretching and this rotation. And then as you exhale, stack up and get really tall in your center. And then we'll go the other side. Oh, I said that right, didn't I? Exhale into the twist. We wring out the breath. And then we use that inhale to lift up and lengthen in our center. Good. Exhale to twist. And she is trying to keep her opposite hip as still as she can so that like sitting bone doesn't shift or move. So that that rotation happens through the upper body. She's got that press through the arms that opens our chest and shoulders. Every time as you inhale, we come back and we teach ourselves where we like to be in that good posture position. Realign everything. Good. Nice big inhale to stack tall. Let's have her do one more there. Exhale into that twist and press. And then nice and tall to come back up. Awesome. All right, we have a couple more exercises. These are going to be standing up against a wall. So I'm going to have Kelly take this over to the wall. I might come over here a little bit. All right. We're going to have it, so maybe like right underneath the tips of your shoulder blades. You're going to lean up against it. Good. And walk the feet out a little bit that way. Essentially, we're going to do some squats on here, but they kind of feel good. So I might, maybe move out just a teeny bit more. Feet and knees about hip width apart. You want to feel like you're kind of pushing back into that roller, and then you're going to do some squats. So your working level, how low you go. Inhale, bend. Exhale to come back up. So these are still a squat, but they kind of feel good because that roller is rolling up and down your back, and you get to press into it. It's a great way to do them. You always want to make sure you have good alignment, so our knees are kind of tracking over those center toes. We have Kelly in a parallel position on knees. Good, and we'll do a few more there, because squats are fun. Good for us. And we're just thinking about that alignment. So as you're rolling up and down, you have that head back over top of your rib cage that whole time. Let's do one more there. Nice. All right, and then we have one more we're going to do. We're going to take the roller, we're going to turn it the other way, long way, and then you're going to lean. And what I'm going to do on this is I kind of like to have this roller, we're going to have to play with this a little bit, on your mid-back, in a place where you can lean back. And Kelly, can you feel it on there? Yeah. Okay, so where I have it is the top of the roller. She can kind of push in right here to the base of the skull. That same place we were practicing before on the mat. And then you can really just stand there and kind of play around a little bit and kind of wiggle your head and neck. It feels good. You just stretch through here, and then you get that little massage back in here. Yeah. Good. And then from there, we're going to just end with a little roll down and roll back up. So I'm going to have Kelly bring her head back in line. Just kind of those nice ragdoll arms. Soften the knees, bend them a little bit. And then she's going to roll down through her spine, starting with her neck first. stretch at the bottom, and then rolling back up and using the roller to roll back into vertebra by vertebra, stacking up and just refinding that alignment, kind of wrapping the shoulder blades around that roller. Let's do one more in there. That curling down through your spine. Abdominals still engaged. You have a little bit of that softness in the knees that whole time. And as she stacks up, just that sense of growing taller, creating length through your back, through your spine, opening up chest and shoulders as you come back up. Ta-da! All right, so that is our little sequences of exercises designed to help you kind of reverse the effects of that tech neck or that computer time. Feel free to do them, grab your roller and just do one at a time. Do that whole sequence together. Be sure to let us know if you liked it. Thanks for joining us today. You can find more videos on our website at www.rivercitypilates.com and on our YouTube channel.